English is very good in the head. You have many structures, you have lots of structures, vocabulary, much knowledge of English, but sometimes what happened that you are not able to express yourself while speaking English. Sometimes you get fumbled, sometimes you get stuck, or what happens most of the times that you are able to express yourself only less than 1 minute. So today we will be discussing all the problems, and if it is the problem of yours, today you are gonna see most of the answers of your questions or apprehensions we are going to discuss today in this video. You are watching Wisdom with Anthony. So today's topic, I think so that it is the problem of more than 85% people, those who are learning English or any language as their second language. When we talk about, see, I want to differentiate both the things. I'm not talking about the native language. Here I'm talking about the language which is a second language. It can be any language, but here we are discussing English. So obviously I'll be talking about English here. See, there was no need to learn different structures, basic grammars, or even advanced grammar for your native language. But when we learn a second language, we find it like a mountain, or more than, or tougher than sometimes more than climbing a mountain. I mean to say that learning a second language can be a thrill, it can be interesting, but sometimes it is difficult for those who are not learning it in the right way. Yes, there are right or wrong ways. If you are wrong, you may be taking a lot of time to learn English as your second language, or maybe as your third or fourth language. Right? So here are some points that why one is failing to express himself or herself, or explaining, or maybe when he or she is in the conversation, he finds himself short or herself short to express. The very first reason I have here for you, that is the lack of vocabulary. My vocabulary range is not so high. I have limited words, so how can I express myself? Learning a language and using a language or interacting in any language, one needs to have lots of words, right? Because obviously the words will be making a sentence. So if you want to complete your sentence and give it a meaningful touch, you need to have lots of words. And words pertaining to the context, it means that you need to use the right word for the suitable place. So whenever you have lack of words or lack of vocabulary, you will find yourself short in the conversation. You may not be able to express yourself. Maybe the thoughts and ideas you will be having in your mother tongue, but you will be not able to express yourself in English. That is the biggest reason I have found, because I was also victim of this. There is a difference between being victim and being a victor. Just your little efforts can take you out from the victim zone and can take you to victory. I hope you are getting what I mean to say. Again, let me let you know, but some of the problems we will go vice versa also. Some people have lots of vocabulary, they have good vocabulary range, but still they get stuck. Don't get confused here. I mean to say, some people have very reserved or limited words, but on the other hand, we see people, those who have very good vocabulary, but still they are unable to express themselves. The reason behind, they are not using the right word for the right place. They do not know how to use the word in the context. And sometimes it is a problem that if you have lots of words, so the right word doesn't come at the right time. But when you, after the conversation, when you go back and when you sit, or when you just think about that, or you ponder over that, you come to know, or when you evaluate your conversation, you come to know that that was the thing that was so easy, why it was not coming in my mind at that very time. It happens with you, I know, because it happened with me and even with many of my students, those who are in the terms of learning English. Right word doesn't come at the right time. Or sometimes lack of words, we need to go for the fillers, for getting stuck, we get fumble, stagger, this or that stumble, but still we are not able to express. So what do you need to do here? Just whenever you learn a word, whenever you come across a new word, first of all, just use that very word then and there only, that moment only, in two different structures. 2 or 3 sentences you can make. You can make a note of that word so that in future you are able to access that word in case if you want to use that. Suppose you come across a word and you do not use that word on the very moment, it means that that word will be skipped. Are you getting me what I mean to say? You should understand that when you have, see, both the situations are very difficult, like having lack of word or having more words but not coming at the right time. So, in order to polish your English, you need to remind, because we have memories, like brain has a memory, these muscles also have a memory, your tongue also has a memory. Whenever you, suppose, if I give you a difficult word, which is a difficult in pronunciation, so automatically very first time, if you are pronouncing that word, you will find it difficult to pronounce. But the next time, your tongue and even your brain knows that how to pronounce that word. Are you getting me what I mean to say? It is just like that somebody goes in the gym and he is not able to lift up the dumbbell of 25 kg, but after 6 months he is able to. What happens? Memory of muscle is reminding him that he is capable, he is competent to lift up that. So same is the memory of tongue, the memory of brain. It reminds us that we are able to pronounce that. It reminds us that the word that we have learned and we have used in that context, in that sentence. I think and I hope you are getting what I mean to say. Second, I have for you anxiety. Sometimes, see, I have written situation also. Not every time you are anxious, but sometimes you are anxious. Let me give you one example. Suppose if I ask you to speak English just in front of a dog or a wall, you'll be so fluent, my dear. Let me give you one example. If you are siblings, means if you have brother or sister, or if you are cousins staying together in a family, you must have seen when something goes wrong or when you fall into a quarrel, what happens? You are so fluent to speak English. You must have seen this because I have observed this. Especially girls, they are very fluent when they are into fight, when they quarrel, especially with their siblings. But when it comes to speak, whether in school, university, on the stage, or somewhere in a group, or you are to say, or you are to express yourself, you find yourself very short. Then you think, when I was alone, I was speaking very good. But when I go before somebody, I'm blank. Isn't it? So the reason for that is getting into the conversation with the positive attitude. You need to remind yourself you are confident. Words have power. Keep in mind. Your words, my words, our words have power. We need to understand that how to use the power of the word in the positive way. So far you have been saying to yourself that you are unable to speak, unable to speak, unable to speak. My dear, start saying that I am a confident speaker. Look yourself as a confident speaker, then this problem will not remain anymore. Imagine yourself a good speaker of English language. In this way, what will happen? You will get the confidence which is required, which will make you distinct from others, and which is far more needed. This era, if you are thinking that I want to learn English and still you are not making efforts, my dear, it will remain a dream. You need to understand, so far the things I was not able to achieve, so far the things I have been just planning to achieve, this year, this is going to be my year, I will achieve this 101%. Isn't it? Yes, you can. So anxiety, if you're getting anxious, what is anxious? Let me let you know. Fear is a kind of a situational. Sometimes you think, okay, if I speak, they may not laugh. Sometimes if I speak wrong, sometimes if I do this or this, that no lack of confidence and being negative puts you in the trouble to speak or to express, right? Then I have third for you. Obviously, one of the biggest reasons not to able to express yourself, that is fear of mistakes. Just show me a single person, single tutor, single teacher, professor, even the best teacher of this world who doesn't make a mistake. Such creatures are not existing. Yes, I'm telling you correct. Nobody is perfect. We try to be perfect, right? There is only one perfect, and that is God. Except Him, nobody is perfect. So whenever you are considering your imperfections, try to change your imperfections into perfections, right? What I mean to say, if you have imperfection, accept that, acknowledge that. But suppose if you are going to make mistake in a conversation, being a learner, as a learner, I will not repeat the same mistake again. That is the power of being a good learner of the language. Suppose what happens when I speak English, and sometimes we also make mistakes. No, maybe I'm speaking to you, I also make mistake. I may make mistake, no problem, so what? But there is a bell, I have a here bell. No, oh, you made mistake here, you made a mistake there. So in this way, what happens that I am reminding, my brain is reminding myself that I was mistaken there, so I need not repeat the same mistake again. So same, I am asking you, if you make mistakes, accept that, persevere, ponder over that, and do not repeat that mistake. That's it. If you are a learner, you won't do that again. Then I have for you is not being a good listener. I'm planning to make a separate video on this because this is something that people, they ignore without knowing the value of being a good listener. You know, somebody told me when I was learning English that if you want to be a fluent speaker of English language, you need to be a good listener. That is the point, or that is the stage where we lack too much. Everybody hates to speak. Nobody is patient to listen. It requires your tolerance, it requires your energy, it requires your positivity, it requires your personality to wait, to be adhered in the conversation in order to make it a successful one. I mean to say, you need to be focused what the person is telling you or what the person is saying to you. If you are very attentive, very focused, believe me, there are very less chances to fail to express yourself in English. Because when you are focused, your brain and tongue will go in the same directions. Otherwise, there will be conflict and fight between your mind and tongue. Tongue will go this way, mind will go that way, and the purpose of the communication skill will not be there. It can never be succeeded. In order to make it a complete one and a meaningful one and a fruitful one, if you think so that your communication, your conversation should bear fruit, it means that you need to be a good listener. And this is the key what I am giving you. These are the things, see, these are not mere topics, these are not mere points. These are the main problems which I had been struggling for a long time. When I understood it, when I realized, it was so easy, like a piece of cake for me. And same, I think so, it is applicable in your case as well. If you are watching this video and listening to me very attentively, I am talking to you, my dear. Be a good listener and see the drastic change. Because a baby is a good listener. How you will say? Whatever you say to it, it will repeat. It will repeat. It will repeat. And repetition is the key. When it repeats again and again and again, what happens? The things get permanent over here in the memories. Brain is getting developed, I'm talking about the native language. So same applies here also. I think you are getting what I mean to say. Next I have for you, lack of knowledge. I have put it at last. Actually, it should have been here. Lack of knowledge is the grassroots cause of not being able to express oneself in the conversation. I do not know certain things, I do not know certain structures, I do not know certain words, I do not know little how can I'm not able to express myself. If I have a little knowledge, little I know that particular sentence is considered to be in past, it is likely to be said in future. If I make this structure, that will affect that. If I say this, see, little knowledge is mandatory, Learning a second language means without any knowledge, are you able to know, my dear? It is not possible. Just by listening, okay, that is the thing that you need to just give yourself totally that environment. That is the only case that. But see, when we learn a second language, we can't immerse ourselves. You know why? Because surroundings, environment, we get the native speaker language, which is the language that obviously which you are native of. So learning a second language, you need to make little efforts. And especially learning English is, see, learning a second language is always a thrill, adventure, and is an interesting thing. And learning English is always amusement for me. I love it. So same, I know that those who are learning English, they also know what I mean to say. You need to collect little knowledge, you need to collect little structures, you need to collect basic things. If you collect all those things, believe me, the things are easier for you. Because you will train your brain once and then it will work accordingly. Every day are you reminding yourself the tenses, every day are you reminding yourself the prepositions, every day are you reminding yourself the future tense, this is part. No! Brain is something that has been given to us which is so powerful, it works miraculously. You do not know the power of it. Little structures, little basic things, if you come across, it will make the things for you. And believe me, if you follow all the steps and the problems that have been discussed just here, and if they are beneficial, if it's a problem for you or of yours, believe me, if you work upon the solutions and if you make some efforts, believe me that 101% I am telling you that you will get the result, positive results. But not just by listening, you need to adapt those points, those steps that have been discussed here. Inch by inch, cinch your target. And if you found this video a beneficial one for you, a helpful one, please do not forget to just write it in the comment section. I will be eagerly waiting for your comments. And if you like the video, please do hit the like button. And if you are watching on the very first time on this channel, if you are on this platform, you are very first time, I urge you to subscribe the channel and don't forget it to share with your kith or kin, those who are in terms of learning English. We'll make our journey a wonderful one and a pleasant one. I will be bringing such videos for you. Till then, wait and take care. Bye-bye.